Valorant Game Changers Championship Berlin pre-event media day. Today we'll host 2 press conferences with our 10 Game Changers Championship finalist teams. For the first press conference, we will hear from 1 player per team from 5 of our qualifying teams. We will then host a second press conference with 1 player per team from our remaining 5 qualifying teams. For the first press conference, from left to right, media will be able to ask questions to the following players. So on the far left, Shopify Rebellion's Mel, then KRU Blazers Conir, Zipto Esports Alexi, Zeta Division's Suzu, and finally Made in Brazil's Sayuri. Now for the fun stuff, press a bit of housekeeping. Please state your name and outlet before asking a question. If you are joining us on site, please queue behind the mic to ask your questions. And if you are joining us remotely, please use the hand raise function or drop your question via the chat to ask your questions. And finally, we will have translators in case you wanted to ask questions to somebody whose language you don't speak. So without any further ado, we will take it over to the chat first of all. Or if anyone's got a question, sorry. We'll kick it over first of all to Pedro Romero.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
We can indeed.
All right, thank you so much. First off, I gotta give my thanks to each and every one of you guys for being here, attending this press conference, and giving us the time to answer questions. Gonna send this over first and foremost to Mel. It's another year, another appearance in this competition, but it's the first in what you're doing so as the defending champion. And so, as you return to this stage, I want to know what's the preparation and the feeling like to try to defend the title against the rest of the competition, and how difficult do you feel it is for this year and going forward?
Hi, thank you for your question. I think this year, even though there's more teams, there's 10 teams compared to 8 before. I think all the teams here are great. I think everyone plays really well. I think the competition is actually better than ever. So that doesn't mean, for us, that means we work harder. So for us, we've just been working twice as hard as much as we can because we know all the teams here are good and that, depending on how people play in the day, like upsets can happen. So we're not underestimating anybody.
Okay, next question will go into the room.
Hello. My name is Sierra, or Zobi. I'm just a freelance commentator. My question is for Lexi. Your opening match of GCC is once again against the past EG players of Starbound, Thea, Coach Jovi. With the changes to the roster and likely no 4 duelists this time, what do you think are going to be the biggest differences in the matchup this time around compared to last year?
I think compared to the last year, they dropped the 3 players, right? Then they changed it to my friends as well, which is Sunder and Donut. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to be against them, and we're not gonna do the same mistake as last year. So yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. And next question over to Okano from Fist Bump.
Hi, I'm Okano Fist Pump. May I ask a question in Japanese for Suzu? She's Japanese.
Yeah, please take it away.
Okay. ゼタディビジョンの鈴選手に伺います。アジア予選が終わってからご自身の配信で、チームはまだ未完成とおっしゃっていました。現在のチームの完成度はいかほどなものでしょうか？また自信はどれほどあるでしょうか？
We'll just pause for the question translation in English.
So the question is, working towards this competition, how comfortable or how confident are you in terms of the team strength right now?
And for the answer?
そうですね。完成度的にはまだ未完成ではあるんですけど、完成していく姿をこの大会で見せていければなと思っています。
So we feel like we're not up to the perfection yet, but this tournament is where we will grow and show you how perfection is.
Thank you for the question. We'll kick it over to Arnab now. Yeah, we can hear you.
Ok, Conir, la pregunta es, ustedes dominaron Game Changers en su región. ¿Qué tan diferente crees que es la competencia aquí mismo comparada a tu región y cómo se prepararon para ella?
Em, Creo que nos preparamos muy bien. Dimos todo lo que pudimos durante todos los días, básicamente. Nos encerramos las 7 personas, 8 con nuestra manager, a estudiar el juego y a estar siempre juntas para poder tener la mejor sinergia posible. Siento que este año, en comparación al resto, em, tenemos como mejor preparación en cuanto a staff y en cuanto a lo que tenemos como players. Eh, y en comparación a lo que tenemos con lo que es el Game Changer de la TAM, eh, si bien el nivel no es el mismo, eh, al final de cuentas, el único enemigo que tenemos somos nosotros mismos, y que ese es como lo que tenemos que vencer al final de cuentas. Y siento que con lo que dimos este año va a ser muy bien, que la preparación que tuvimos va a llegar a tener todo lo que necesitamos para poder estar bien dentro del stage, lo que es mañana.
Okay, so she said, I believe that we prepped really well. We did everything that we can these past 2 days. We bootcamp the 8 people and studied the game really well. So we also try to be together all the time for synergy. So this year, compared to also other years, I believe we're better prepared, not only as teams, as a team, as with players, but also with coaching staff. And also comparing to LATAM, even though it's not the same level, we feel that the only enemy is ourselves. So we have to deal with that and play basically against us to perform. And so everything that we did this year, it prepared us really well to be here on stage.
Thank you for the question. We'll go next into the room again for the next question.
Hello, Zobi again. My question this time is for Sayori. So it's also on being asked on behalf of Emphasis. This is the first time Team Liquid is not representing Brazil, and you guys have already proven that you guys deserve to be here. But do you feel any extra pressure to prove that Brazil is not a one-team region by being that sole representative?
I personally don't feel the pressure because I don't know, I never felt before the pressure while playing the game. So I don't know the rest of my team, but I guess we're just happy to be here and we're not thinking about the pressure. Oh, we're representing Brazil. Oh, that's scary. No, we are just really happy to be here.
Thank you.
Perfect. We'll go back into the Zoom now, over to Pedro again.
Yeah, this question goes out to each and every person that would like to answer. Now, as each of you guys start your journeys in this competition, I want to know which team do you feel is the biggest obstacle and why?
So we'll go from left to right. So Mel, if you want to kick us off there.
Could you repeat the last 2 words? Sorry, the biggest.
Biggest challenge as in team, biggest like most difficult opponent, that kind of thing, and why?
So the question is like
Yeah.
who's the biggest challenge from a team perspective?
It's honestly hard to say. I think every team going to this event is very hungry. You could make that argument for any team, honestly, not to have a non-answer. But I mean, I think the most obvious would be like G2 goes in, MIBR, GC. I mean, but you can make the argument for any team.
Perfect. We'll now stop for translations.
Tony, la pregunta básicamente es, empieza en el torneo, ¿cuál crees que es el mayor challenge o el equipo más difícil con el que se pueden llegar a enfrentar y por qué?
Bueno, para mí todos los equipos son realmente buenos. No siento que haya como eh, un equipo superior al otro. Y no sé, a mi parecer, el que sea con mayor esfuerzo para nosotros, para mí es MIBR, sinceramente.
Okay, so she said all the teams here are really good, so I don't feel there's anyone that's superior. But for us, maybe the biggest challenge would be MIBR, sincerely.
Zipto?
For me, our team don't focus on one team only. We focusing on all the teams that we're gonna be against too. So, but I think for this year, should be G2 Gozen is the most interesting lineup for this year.
今回の大会で最も強敵になるであろうチームがあれば教えてください。
個人的にはシュピファイだと思ってます。すごいフロセントをリスペクトしてるっていうのもあるので、警戒してます。
So personally think that it'll be Shopify. And personally, I really respect Thorson. So watching out for her.
Let's go. I think every game is going to be a game like really good for us because it's the first time here. So, but the most challenged team, I guess, is going to be Shopify because they're the last year champions, and G2 as well. They're champions as well.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Pedro, for the question. We'll now kick it over to Ravish.
Hi guys, really happy to be here as always. Just wanted to ask Mel a quick question as well. So Mel, I understand. Look, you've amassed an incredible amount to what your overall competitive career. Do you think anybody else at this table could beat you in a Fortnite 1v1?
So Ravish, thank you for the question, bro. A Fortnite 1v1? Yo, let's just say I 1v1 Fluorescent like a couple months ago, maybe a year ago, actually. It was close. I don't even remember who won. I think I won. She thinks she won. It's one of those. But if I had to think, like, anyone here play Fortnite? Anyone? Hey, okay, maybe me and Siri run some 1v1s. We'll see what happens.
Let's go. That's what I'd like to hear. All right, cheers. Thanks.
Go over to Arnab now again.
Hey. Hello, hi again. This time my question is for Suzu. I wanted to know, last year, unfortunately, you guys didn't manage to qualify for the GC Championship, but this year having two spots for Pacific helped you guys to get that spot again. How do you think the scene is overall evolving, specifically in minor regions which are considered such as APAC? How you think Riot has been helping to develop the scene overall for game changers?
スー選手への質問です。昨年はこのチャンピオンシップには、残念ながら来れなかったというところだと思うんですが、今年はパシフィックからの進出ということで、2枠あって、進出することができたと思います。この APAC のような、マイナーリージョンにおける、このシーンの成長について、そしてそのライアットとして、このシーンの成長にどういうふうに貢献しているのかみたいなところで、お考えがあればお願いします。
そうですね。まず、女性のシーンがそもそも少ないっていうのと、もう日本が今、バロラントですごいスポットを浴びてできていると思うので、それの先陣を切って、女性として、そのバロラントを、日本からプレイして、APAC でも使って、 ていう。まあでも、ただひたすら勝ちに向かってやっているだけではあるんですけど、それが今、いろんなところに結びついているんじゃないかなと思ってます。
So still, the women's scene is very small, but because Japan's Valorant scene is quite large, now I'm really happy to be representing the country on the women's scene, and I'm just here to focus on the win. So hopefully that would connect with the growth of the scene overall.
Okay, next question over to Elliot Mays from Remake.
Hi. First of all, I want to congratulate all of you for the qualification to the GCC. My question is going to be for Suzu. This is your second experience here in Berlin for the GCC. And after your quick stint with Funnel in 2022, what do you think of your current form for this tournament with Zeta? And with this international experience in 2022, and your experience gained through those years, how do you approach the competition compared to 2022?
So could you repeat the first question again?
What do you think of your current form for this tournament with Zeta Division?
スー選手にとって今回、2回目の、チャンピオンシップになると思います。フェンネルの後。まず一つ目の質問としては、現状の、このチャンピオンシップに向けての、チームとしてどんな状態であるか。で、二つ目が、この2回目の世界大会ということで、その初回の経験を生かして、どういうふうにしていきたいかという2点お願いします。
1個目もう一回。チームの紹介。状態。チームの状態は今、APAC を得て、すごいいい方向には向かっていると思いますけど、その中でまた新しい問題とかいろんなものができてきてはいるので、それをまあ乗り越えていきたいっていうふうに
which we have been overcoming. And to the second question, really wanted to, ever since the first competition, really wanted to come back to this international stage as Zeta division. So to be able to achieve that, I'm just really happy about it.
If you can maybe just repeat the previous question, the previous answer, sorry, because like the audio is muted.
Yep, as a team, we feel that through APAC qualifier, which is Game Changers Pacific, we've grown as a team, and we were able to find a lot of problems that through that competition, which we were able to overcome.
Thank you.
Cool. We'll go back to the room now for the next question.
Last one, I promise. Sierra Zobi, Valorant commentator again. This one's for Mel. Sorry to go from Fortnite 1v1s to a little bit of a heart wrencher, but
No worries.
There's a lot of players vying for their second Game Changers Champions trophy, you included, but you're a little bit special because you didn't get to lift that trophy with your team last year since you won it from COVID isolation. Oh, yeah. Does that kind of like add to like the sentimentality for you vying for it, or like how does that kind of affect like your motivation for this tournament here in Berlin?
Thank you for the question. Also, I'm so happy to see you here. Yeah, I think a lot of my motivation actually stems from the fact that I wasn't able to lift the trophy last year. So I guess it's like sort of a buff, nerf at the time, but now it's like I still haven't felt what it actually feels like to lift the trophy. And I know my teammates are motivated to help me actually lift it, like physically, like act like weight wise, but also just like getting me to that point. So it affects my motivation a lot. I really, really want to do that. Hopefully we do, and I'm able to lift it. But yeah, thank you.
Okay, we'll kick it back over to Pedro.
Yes, got a question over to Alexi. Obviously, when it comes to comparing your respective team to last year's team, which was back then known as Team SMG, is comparing that to now, it's been only one change within that squad, that being Terra for Kohibi. That said, how do you kind of look back on that team's run in 2022, finishing fourth place, losing to Team Liquid Brazil, and now as you guys are kind of in the same position technically, besides the roster change, and so and what do you think is the biggest difference between this year's squad and last year's squad with that change in personnel in mind?
For me, last year we are all just running all around, and I would say this year we are way more disciplined. And for the addition of Tara, also she also helps us a lot in terms of the discipline for the team. So yeah, I'm just gonna look forward for our game against FlyQuest. Thank you.
Okay, we'll have time for two more questions. So we'll go over to Sons of Chaos now. You're still muted. Kirby? Last call.
Hi, thank you. First of all, thank you, Gears, for the space that you bring us here. My question is for Conir. How do you feel as a team by being the LATAM representation? Do you think that there is a difference in competing in LATAM than in other regions? ¿Cómo se sienten como equipo siendo la representación de LATAM en esta competencia? ¿Sienten que hay alguna diferencia importante compitiendo en LATAM a diferencia que en otras regiones?
Sí, hay mucha diferencia en competir en LATAM. Partiendo por lo que es el macro del juego, siento que aún falta mucho por aprender en LATAM, y ser un poco más como conscientes de que son un player profesional y que tienen que ir mejorando. Siento que falta mucho por parte de cada una de intentar mejorar y no dar el 100%, dar el 200% para ser muchísimo mejor. Y eso es lo que está diferenciando en este momento lo que es nuestra región con el resto, que básicamente como que es tomárselo en serio y querer mejorar y tener hambre de querer ganar, que es lo que nos está como costando ese pasito.
Okay, so she said micro-wise, there's a lot to improve in LATAM, and also be conscious that they're pro players and they need to improve on that, because they not only have to give the 100%, they have to give also the 200%. So that's the difference between LATAM and the rest of the regions. It's taking it more seriously and want to improve and have that hunger to improve.
Okay, very final question. We'll kick it over to Ravish.
Here we go. Hey, sorry. Hey guys, back here, me again. Real quick. Sorry. I don't know if this has been asked before, and my question is to Mel real quick. Mel, by the way, so the canal incidents that happened not too long ago. Can we talk about that? Can we talk about what happened? Does Laika have dysentery? Is she still alive? Do you need a new manager now? Are you guys okay? Please tell me everything.
So the canal incident did happen. I can verify. I bore witness to that. And second, I just don't think there's a greater manager than Laika. She literally went into a freezing cold, dirty canal to get my teammate Sarah phone out of the water. Literally went back to the hotel, got towels, came back, put her Crocs on, got down and dirty, picked up that phone, dried off, and was like, "You guys want to go to the cathedral?" Best manager ever. That's all I have to say.
Jesus Christ. All right, cool. Good. No, shout out Laika.
Shout out Laika, love her.
Thank you, Mel.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so that concludes the first press conference. So thank you to Mel, Conir, Alexi, Suzu, and Sayuri for joining us. Press, we will have about a 5-minute breather and then we'll kick off press conference number 2, okay?